Hello, welcome to Yoga with Harry and Emily. Today we've got a nice slow flow class. So it's really sort of yin based, nice and slow, steady practice. We're not going to be moving very quickly with the breath this time. So it's almost a hatha type class, maybe even a hatha moon. So we're taking it nice and easy. So let's just begin. So we're going to start off with our pranayama practice. So what we're going to focus on today is just making sure if we're breathing into the belly properly. So this can be a really common problem that we see. We breathe very high and shallow into the chest. So what we want to do is breathe nice and deep into the belly. So just coming into a nice seated or lying down position. So whichever is more preferable for you today. Normally I lie down, but today, for some reason, I want to sit. So getting nice and comfy. And just starting by closing the eyes. I'm just going to watch and observe the breath, not changing anything yet. Maybe notice the sound of the breath. And then noticing where the breath enters. Does it enter through the nose or the mouth? And then where does the breath go? Does it go into the chest, the ribs, the belly? Just observing and watching our breath for now. And we might even be able to notice, actually I breathe quite shallow into the chest, like I was saying before. So maybe we can notice these tendencies as we increase our awareness. So we're going to see if we can breathe through the nose. So breathing nasally helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system and really slow down the body and mind. So just seeing if we can do that. You might have a cold, that's fine, just go through the mouth. And then we're going to see if we can make the breath go to the belly. So just the belly only, we're not trying to breathe into the chest here. So as we inhale, the belly needs to go out. We can place the hand on the belly if that helps. And then as we exhale, the belly goes in, belly button towards the spine. Inhale, belly out. You can always imagine you're trying to push your hand away if you've got it over the belly button. Exhale, belly goes in, belly button towards the spine. Staying with this breath at your own pace. And then seeing if we can match the length of the inhale with the length of the exhale, so it's a very equal breath. And then seeing if we can deepen it, but making sure it's still comfortable. This is a very relaxed breath. It's almost going to make you want to fall asleep. So just staying with that for a minute. So just allowing the breath to return to normal now. So you can try and maintain this belly breath through the practice. Obviously in certain postures that might be a bit harder, we might have to change the breathing. But maybe seeing if we can become conscious of that, and if in certain moments we might be able to come back to the belly breathing. Okay, so we're going to start and moving on to our asana practice now. So we're going to start to work into a few postures So if you're lying on the floor, we're just going to come to a seated position. So just doing that in your own time, taking it nice and slow. If you're already seated, just stay there. So we're going to begin by inhaling nice and tall. So we're going to imagine the crown of the head is being pulled towards the heavens. When we exhale, we allow the shoulders to just sink away from the ears and the arms to relax. Breathe in here. See if we can feel the sit bone grounding into the block or the mat or the cushion, whatever we're sat on. Just becoming aware of our posture. So we're going to do some neck rolls. So we're going to inhale, exhale, dropping the chin to chest. Stay in here for a few breaths. We're going to roll over to the right side. So as we inhale, the right ear comes towards the right shoulder. Really coming into the left side of the neck. We can place the left hand on the mat if that helps. Bringing the left hand back. We're going to inhale as we draw the chin, tilting the head straight back, looking up. Exhaling as we circle around, left ear to left shoulder. Maybe bringing the right hand down to the mat, just coming into the right side of the neck. Bringing the right hand back, and then exhaling, just allowing the chin to drop to chest one last time. And just really surrendering in this posture, allowing the arms to be heavy, the shoulders to drop, and the head to just hang. And then taking a nice inhale as we come back up to a nice flat back. Okay. We're going to inhale the arms up nice and tall. Maybe they touch, but making sure the shoulders are away from the ears. We don't want to be hunched up. Breathe in here. On the next exhale, we're going to drop the right hand, leaning over, coming into the side body. Maybe bring the gaze to the left. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. Exhaling, dropping the left hand, coming over to the left side. Maybe gazing to the right. Okay, we're going to inhale back to centre. Now this time we're going to move with the breath, so we exhale, dropping the right hand. Inhale back to centre. Exhale, drop the left hand. And we're just really moving at our own pace. So you can take 2 breaths on each side if you want to. Really moving with the breath, see if we can connect with our pace. We're then going to meet nice and high. We're going to exhale as we give ourselves a nice hug. Really round in the back. Maybe give it a little wiggle. Inhaling back up. And this time we're going to hug so the other arm is on top. The other way around. Maybe have a little twist in there. Exhale, relax. Hopefully it starts to feel nice and loose in the spine. So we're just going to come onto all fours. So in our tabletop, making sure the shoulders are over the wrists, the hips are over the knees. There's a lot of right angles going on. So we're going to come into our cat-cow. So as we inhale, we drop the chest, raise the chin, gazing forward. Exhale, we push away from the mat, arching the back, chin to chest. Inhale, drop the chest, raise the gaze. Exhale, push away, gazing down towards the knees. Inhale, drop the chest, raise the chin, tilting the pelvis to the sky. Exhale, push away, tucking the pelvis in and through. Inhale, drop, raise the chin. And just moving with our own breath now, maybe closing the eyes. Maybe you invite a lean over to one side and you can sort of come into this circular motion. I'm just inviting any spaces that might intuitively come to us. So maybe bend the elbows, just do whatever feels nice. Okay. So we're going to meet back at a tabletop. It's a nice flat back. We're going to come to our thread the needle. We're going to inhale the right arm up to the sky, opening the chest, gazing up. Exhale, the right hand comes under the left armpit. The right cheek meets the mat, and we walk the left hand out. Breathe in here. Walking the left hand back where we started. Grounding through the left hand, we're going to inhale as we lift back up, opening the chest. Exhale, both hands meet. Good, we're going to do the other side. Inhaling as we draw the left hand up, gazing up. Exhale, the left hand comes under the right armpit, meets the ground, the left cheek meets the mat. We walk the right hand out. Relaxing and breathing in. Maybe seeing if we can do some of those belly breaths that we worked with at the start. Walking the right hand back, grounding through. We're going to inhale, drawing the left hand back towards the sky. Exhale, both hands meet. Good. So we're going to touch the toes now. Opening the knees. And we're going to sink back into our child's pose. Walking the arms out, allowing the chest to drop towards the mat. Maybe resting the forehead here. If we find we can't reach, we can use a pillow or a block, whatever you've got available. When we're ready, just walking the hands back towards the knees. We're going to come into our hero pose. So just allowing the knees to be bent here. Nice and tall. And just taking a few breaths while we come out of that child's pose. Can leave us feeling quite sleepy. Good, we're going to come forward back into our tabletop. Taking a nice deep breath here. We're going to inhale, straightening the right leg behind us, drawing the toes to shin. So we're keeping the spine just like we would in tabletop, so really using the core. Breathing here. Exhale, dropping the foot to the mat, rocking back, stretching into the calf muscle. Breathing here. Inhale, raising the leg back up, bringing the knee back to where it started. Going to inhale the left leg, keeping the hips square, the core engaged, toes to shin, really pushing the heel as far away as possible. Exhale, drop the foot to the mat, rock back, coming into the calf. Inhale, raising the left leg back up. Exhale, knee comes back to where we started. Good. So we're going to rock back into our hero pose. With a nice proud chest. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale as we bring them behind us, coming into a bind. Really seeing if we can open the shoulders and the chest here. If we can't do this, maybe we could use a block or a strap or whatever just to assist. And then just taking a few breaths once we're here. And just slowly unwrapping the fingers. Coming back to our hero pose and just taking a nice few breaths here. Okay. So in your own time, in your own way, we're going to come to standing at the front of the mat. In our mountain pose, feet shoulder width apart, palms facing forward, nice proud chest. Closing the eyes and just observing the breath. Seeing if we can connect through the feet.
Okay. Once we're here, we're going to take a nice deep inhale as Harry disappears. Once we're here, we're just going to meet the palms to touch.
Back.
Embracing the stretch as Harry decides to join us again. And exhale, we're just going to bring the hands to prayer. Good. Going to take another inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to twist the upper body to one side. Seeing if we can keep the feet and the knees facing forward. Just a core twist here. Really lengthening through the spine as the crown of the head draws up. Inhaling as we come back to centre. And on the exhale, twisting over to the opposite side. As Tia decides to join us. Inhaling as we come back to centre, and exhale as we rest the arms back into our mountain pose. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Okay. This time on the inhale, we're going to sweep the arms, maybe tickling the floor, as we come all the way into our chair pose. So from here, we should just be able to see our big toe. Really imagining someone pulling the arms towards the back of the room. Inhale here, and exhale, bringing the hands to prayer as we twist over to one side, coming into our prayer twist. Again, seeing if we can keep those knees and feet pointing forward. Inhale as we come back to centre, and exhale as we twist over to the opposite side. Inhaling as we come back to centre, and on the exhale, straightening the legs, maybe shaking it off. Good. And then once we're here, we're going to come into a wide-legged stance. So opening the legs just as little or as large as you'd want, wherever's comfortable. We're just going to bring the hands to hips for now. We're going to inhale as we raise both arms all the way up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we're just going to lean over to the right side. Going into a nice stretch. Inhaling back to centre. And exhale, leaning over to the left side. Inhaling to centre, and exhale, bringing the arms all the way down. Good. And then from here, we're going to do the right foot first. We're going to pivot the right foot so it's facing forwards. And then that back foot is still facing sideways. And then you might have to shorten the stance here if you've got little legs like me. We're going to come into our triangle pose. So bringing the hands to hips, we're going to tilt towards that front straight leg. And then maybe staying here, maybe this is fine. Or maybe resting the arm on the leg. Or maybe walking that arm all the way down to the ankle or even the floor. You can use a block, you can use a cushion, whatever you can use as support here, or you can just have a little play with raising the left arm all the way up towards the sky. Seeing if we can breathe here in our triangle pose. We're going to inhale as we bring the arms all the way back to our T shape. And exhale, lowering down. Good. Here we're going to pivot that front foot facing sideways as we switch over to the opposite side now. So the left foot pointing sideways, the back foot pointing towards the screen. Bringing the arms to a T shape. I'm going to hinge from the hips, folding into that front leg. And then maybe staying here, maybe lowering that hand and experimenting with where we can reach today. Raising that right arm up towards the sky. Remembering the breath, making sure we're comfortable, not pushing too far. We're going to inhale, bringing the arms all the way back to our T shape. And exhale as we lower the arms all the way down. bringing the legs together, maybe having a little shake. As we come back into our mountain pose at the front of our mat. And then once we're here, we're going to step back into high lunge. So we'll do the left foot first. We're just going to step the left foot back into high lunge. Now the stance can be shortened or widened, wherever you feel more comfortable with this high lunge. I'm going to take a nice inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to bring the arms to a T shape. And then we're going to twist over to one side. Comes into a nice twist here. You may have a little wobble. You can experiment with a shorter stance. Inhale, sweeping back to high lunge. And exhale, twisting over to the opposite side now. Inhale, back to high lunge, and then stepping forward. But maybe having a shake. And then when we're ready, we're going to step the right foot back now. Coming into our high lunge. I'm going to inhale here. And on the exhale, bringing him to a T and twisting over to one side. It's a really nice one for the core. It's a good test on your balance. Really nice stretch to do in the morning. I'm going to inhale back to high lunge. And exhale, twisting over to the opposite side. Finding that balance, maybe even shortening the stance if you're finding this quite tricky. Inhaling back to high lunge and then stepping forward back into your mountain pose. Good. From here we're going to take a nice deep inhale, raising the arms all the way up, maybe inviting a slight back bend here. As we exhale, coming into our forward fold, and then here maybe micro bending the knee, allowing the head to hang heavy, maybe grabbing opposite elbows. And just be quite lazy here. Just let the whole of the head fall towards the floor. Maybe even inviting a little rock from side to side. We're going to inhale to a halfway lift, that nice flat back. Maybe resting the arms on the shin, maybe even the knees. As we bring that flat back all the way up, nice and tall. And exhale, bring the hands to prayer. Good. Now we're going to come into our tree pose. So in our mountain pose, nice and tall, we're going to shift the weight over to the right side. So we're going to bring the weight onto that right leg as we peel the left foot up, and then maybe resting it on the ankle as we bring the hands to prayer. Maybe lifting it just below the knee. Remembering our drishti, our focus point on the floor, and then maybe bringing the foot to the inner thigh. Maybe even bringing the arms all the way up towards the sky. And then when we're ready, Slowly exiting this posture, straightening the leg as we come back into our mountain pose. Good. We're going to shift over to the left leg now. Peeling that right foot up as we bring the hands to prayer. We're just going to rest it on that straight leg. And then maybe staying here, this is fine, just experimenting with our drifty out of balance. And then raising all the way up just below the knee. Or maybe coming into the full expression, resting it on the inner thigh. Experimenting here, maybe raising the arms up. Seeing if we can maintain this balance. Having a play, if we fall over, try again. Taking a nice inhale. And exhale as we slowly exit the posture, peeling that foot up and placing it down. And then maybe shaking it off here. Feeling that tension in the legs. And then in your own way, we're going to come into a child's pose now. So we're going to come onto the floor, onto the mat, and we can either keep the knees together or we can widen the knees, bringing the big toes to touch as we sink back, walk the arms, and just allow the head to be heavy. And then just taking some nice deep breaths here.
Maybe seeing if we can connect with the belly breath that we worked with at the start. So we're going to walk the hands back towards the knees. So we're going to scoop the legs around. We're going to come into our staff pose. So we're almost creating this L shape with the body. So engaging the core, sitting nice and tall, drawing the toes to shin. If you find you've got tight hamstrings, you might find it easier to sit up on a prop, whether it's a cushion or a block. Just make sure you don't lock out the knees. Just inviting a slight micro bend. Inhaling nice and tall. Breathing here. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhaling as we fold forward into a seated forward fold. Keeping it nice and passive, just surrendering forward. And then inhale, coming up nice and tall again. Exhale, lowering the hands. Good. Maybe giving the legs a little wiggle. We're going to bring them into a butterfly position, so bringing the base of the feet to touch, allowing the knees to drop wide. Good. Maybe holding onto the feet at the ankles and just sitting nice and tall. We're going to inhale the arms up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, falling forward. Maybe allowing the palms of the hands to point up. Relaxing here. Staying with the breath. Slowly working our way back up to a seated position. Okay. So we're going to come onto our backs. So doing that nice and slowly, start to unwind. And we're going to have the knees bent. So the feet are still on the mat. And we're going to come into our reverse pigeon. So we're going to bring the left foot over the left thigh. So we're going to relax the right leg completely. Actually, we're going to draw the toes to the shin, but the upper of the leg is relaxed. So we're going to inhale as we draw the left knee to the chest. Maybe bringing the hands to the left hamstring. And just assisting with the stretch. So really coming into the right glute. Breathing here. See if you can do a few belly breaths. On the next exhale, just unwrapping the hands, allowing the leg to drop, and bringing the right foot back to where we started. Maybe inviting a little wiggle with the hips. We're then going to inhale the left foot to the right thigh. So as we inhale, we're drawing the right knee to chest, and then we can bring the hands to bind on the hamstring. And then making sure we allow the head to be heavy. Just drawing the right knee and just assisting a little bit with the hands. Exhale, relaxing and wrapping the hands, allowing the foot to drop back down. And then unwrapping the left foot, giving them a little wiggle. Good. So we're going to inhale the knees to chest, just having a nice little hug here. And we're going to exhale, allowing them to drop to the left side. Maybe find it easier to just tuck the hips underneath us. And then bringing the arms out to a T. See if we can gaze over the right hand. Relaxing here as we unwind. Inhale back to centre. Maybe giving them another hug. And then exhaling as we fall to the right side. Might find it easy to just tuck the hips underneath. Maybe even bringing a block in between the knees. Bringing the arms out to a T. And then gazing over the left hand. And then closing the eyes. Allow the breath to be soft. We're going to inhale the knees back to centre for one last hug. Giving them a nice squeeze. And then exhaling, allowing the feet to fall down to the mat as we come into Savasana now. So, making sure we're nice and comfortable. You can get a blanket or a jumper. Having the feet open, the palms facing up. And just starting to get comfy. Maybe you want to get a pillow, blanket, whatever it is. So once we're comfy, just allowing the body to be heavy. Knowing that all the hard work's done now. Allowing the breath to return back to normal. Allowing the mind to be still. Not getting attached to any thoughts, just letting them drift in and drift out. And that we can just think about them later. There's nothing that we need to do right now. So just staying here in this Savasana for a few moments as we unwind the practice and our mind the time. Starting to bring awareness back to the body. Maybe wiggling the toes and the fingers. Maybe taking a deep breath. And just setting an intention for today. So to be grateful for the things that we have, be it a roof over our head, food on the table, whatever it is. Just something that maybe we might overlook a lot in our day-to-day life. And just really saying to yourself, I am grateful for, and then whatever the thing is you choose for today. I am grateful for. I am grateful for. And then when you're ready, start to roll over to one side. And then then coming into a seated position when we're ready. So there's no rush. Namaste everyone. Thank you for coming to our class online.
I hope you enjoyed today's slow flow, something a little bit more relaxing, perfect for the morning, just before you go to bed. It's a really nice one, so you can go make yourself a brew now. Enjoy the rest of your plans for today. Thanks guys.
Peace.